Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Wednesday, December the 18th, and welcome to our video commentary. You know, there's all kinds of polls all the time. I think, in fact, as I've said before, there's too many polls in our country today. Everybody's taking a poll. Everybody seems to have a poll, and sometimes the polls are right, sometimes they're wrong, sometimes the samples are right or wrong. So I tend to take polling data with a little bit of skepticism. I tend to look at tendencies in the polls rather than one specific poll. For example, if you see a bunch of polls saying the same thing, well, maybe there's something to what they're saying. But there is one indicator that seems to be pretty good, and that is somewhere in Vegas, I believe, people invest on whether or not a president is going to be reelected or a president is not going to be reelected. And they have different places, I guess, where they do this. And this morning I read that President Trump is way ahead with the people who are making these bets on his reelection. Only Vice President Biden, or former Vice President Biden, seems to have any chance of being competitive with him. All the others he easily beats among these people who invest in these things. And how right, how wrong that is, I don't know. In the past, it's turned out to be a pretty good indicator, but because again, these are people who are putting their money where their mouth is. These are not people answering polls. These are people putting their money where their mouth is. And right now, what they're telling us is that President Trump is going to be reelected. Now, we will see. We will see what happens in November, but I tend to think they're right. And they're right for a couple of reasons. Number one, because of the American economy. The American economy is doing quite well, and that always favors the incumbent. But the other reason is the Democrat Party is in such disarray. They don't seem to have a coherent message. There's a lot of divisions among them. And what happens in Milwaukee when they get there, nobody knows. So right now, the money favors President Trump's reelection, and I tend to agree with that. Thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, on Twitter, and on my blog. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.